active when like defending.
I think it's like.
People deluded, I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
As Ian Wright just said there, people deluded, I'm back again. Let's go over the latest news, rumours, talking points and everything else concerning Arsenal. As usual, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. Appreciative to everyone who's locked in. If you're new, make sure you're subscribed. If you're obviously, a long-term supporter or just in general, please make sure you're smashing the like button, people, and let me know your comments on everything we discuss. Now, while there hasn't, at the time of making this video, been official confirmation on Arsenal.com, we have heard William Saliba has basically signed a new deal along with Reece Nelson. And when they return from their holidays, like all the players of all clubs are now doing as they begin their pre-season preparations, he'll put the, final touches on that deal, people. Better yet, just grab the pen and put his signature. Romano has tweeted, people, a few minutes ago that he said exclusive big day for Arsenal as Saliba signs his new long-term contract valid until June 2027. It's finally done and sealed. Saliba accepted the proposal in June. Documents are finally signed. Today is the day. It will also include an option until 2028. Now, for a variety of reasons, this is a good thing. Obviously, we need to bring in new players to take us to a new level, but keeping players, retaining a crop of players, improving them and taking them to higher heights is something we need to do as well. Saliba's a quality player. He's a good footballer with the potential to be a great centre-back. He's not there yet, but the signs are quite promising for a 22-year-old. And we've had a rocky road. Apologies for the building noise. We've had a rocky road where Saliba's been concerned. There's been, will he, won't he, will he leave? Last season, he played almost every game he was available for and is a key part, a linchpin in Arsenal's team, really. Tying him down means, obviously, we're telling players coming into the club and existing players, we're trying to have a competitive side. Obviously, we need to keep our best players to be competitive for obvious reasons. And obviously, I don't want to see the Salibas, the Sakas, the Martinellis, etc. ever sold. But, if you're tied down onto a long-term deal and you want to leave, I dream of a world where one of these players go for 100 million quid, really and truly. So yeah, it's great stuff from Arsenal, and it's been a fantastic summer so far with the pending transfers of Timber and Declan Rice, following Kai Havertz, 3 key targets from Mikel Arteta, confirming numerous players to numerous deals, from under 18s level all the way to first team. We just need to focus a bit on outgoings, and we're living, people. Let's keep it moving. Allegedly, Arsenal to land yet another Manchester City star as summer spending continues. This article has basically said, people, that he's informed, Mikel Arteta has informed the club that Laporte is now his top defensive target. Now, I'm not too sure. I just don't think we're going to sign a left-sided centre-back. I think it's easy to link Laporte with Arsenal. Obviously, he plays for Spain, but he is a Frenchman. Obviously, the ties between Mikel Arteta and Manchester City and us bringing in Jesus and Zinchenko. Laporte is almost a forgotten figure at Manchester City, and it does appear that he will leave, obviously, after falling down the pecking order. I'll have Laporte. I know he's quite dropped off, and his stock is probably the lowest it's been, but he's left-footed. There's a bunch of experience. He, gives us greater options. I just don't think we're going to sign another left-sided centre-back. You've got Gabriel there. You've obviously got Kirill there. You've got Tomiyasu, who can play centre-back, and Mikel Arteta said, I don't know what foot he is. Obviously, a number of players who are right-footed can play over there. I'm all for it, really and truly, because, we've got, in terms of defensive options, Zinchenko, Tierney, Benjamin White, Timber now, Gabriel, Saliba, Kirill, technically Rob Holding, even though his days are numbered. I just don't believe this 28-year-old is going to sign for us, where if he signs for us, compete, give Mikel Arteta a headache and take Gabriel's spot or somebody's in the team, but I can't see that happening. I do think we need to have a bit of stability in our team, and I think that was a key reason as to why our season went well, was playing the same players. Obviously, rotation is needed at times, but we're playing the same players, allowing consistency and relationships to build in our back five, in the middle third, up front, etc., etc. And again, this is why, for me, as much as if Xhaka wants to leave, cool. If we want to sell Partey, cool. I think we need to hold on to both of them. And I think, people need to realize that just because we're in the Champions League now doesn't mean we need to make we need to make tough decisions and difficult decisions and stuff, but rip up everything. Gabriel and Saliba got a long way to go. There's a bit of teething problems collectively and individually, but that's a blossoming partnership, a bit like Xhaka and Partey. If Arteta believes that should be disrupted, fair enough. But for what it's worth, I don't really buy Laporte to Arsenal, really. I just think it's a case of getting 2 and 2 and getting 5. He's obviously going to be on big wages. Not sure on the length of his contract or the fee Manchester City want, but it would probably be a decent one in that regards. Let me know your thoughts. Balogun's been linked with a new club every day, really, as his future remains in the balance at Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal striker Balogun has interest from 5 foreign clubs after his superb loan spell at Rennes saw him net 21 Liga goals, with the Gunners demanding 50 million. Personally, I don't think we're going to get 50 million from foreign clubs, but for what it's worth, he's subject to interest from 5 overseas clubs following his breakout season. He's got 21 goals. Apparently, Arsenal have placed a 50 million pound price tag on his head. We've also seen as low as 35 million, which, although that would be shortcomings for a man, if you look at it, for all of Balogun's potential, and as much as I want him to get into the first team, he's only got 10 appearances for the football club, barely 90 minutes. If you were to get 35 to 50 million for a homegrown product with a sell-on clause and maybe a buyback clause, that is good business. He's been linked with AC and Inter. He's been linked with Marseille. He's been linked with Leipzig. He's been linked with Monaco. Allegedly, there's interest from other German clubs and also clubs in England. He's been linked with West Ham, Crystal Palace, and Brighton. All attractive clubs for a young 22-year-old who wants to start week in, week out, essentially, people. So, yeah, as we know, he's got 2 years left on his contract. He's made it clear he doesn't want to go out on loan. His future will still be subject to speculation. I would like to see him get a chance. One Haaland graduate who looks set to stay at Arsenal, people. Arsenal are set to announce a contract extension for Reiss Nelson, with the winger putting pen to paper on a 4-year deal at the Emirates. Allegedly, there's an option of a 5th. I wonder if that impacts Arsenal bringing in and attacking forward, really, with Nelson committing his future. As you said, as you can see here, Arsenal are poised to announce Reiss Nelson has signed a new 4-year deal. I mean, it would be nice if we announced the deals of Timber, Declan Rice, and actually Saliba and Nelson officially confirmed new deals, people. Mikel Arteta's side are also, at the same time, Arsenal, better yet, Mikel Arteta's side, Arsenal are also set to announce Nelson has put pen to paper on a new 4-year deal at the Emirates as his contract expired. The winger was a rotation option at Arsenal last season, but did enough during his limited game time to earn himself a new role. He's been a peripheral figure. I think he's earned a rotation sort of thing. He has done well with the opportunities he's had, really, and it'd be nice to see him show potential. Allegedly, the Romanos, etc. of this world have said AC Milan were very close to convincing him, and Arsenal actually gave a counter offer to the original contract offer. So, yes, believe the deal will see him land a significant pay rise on his current salary, which is around 60 grand a week. So he's going to get an increase. Saka, Martinelli, Saliba, Ramsdale, potentially Odegaard and Benjamin White. Declan Rice is coming in for 200 grand plus a week, as is Kai Havertz. We probably need to get some outgoing sorted, where Pepe is concerned, especially. That's 140k a week. And it's not just him. There's several other players. Obviously, I believe personally, once the Timber and Rice things are kind of confirmed, I think we will focus a bit on outgoings at this football club. Nelson allegedly had interest from Brighton, Aston Villa, Fulham, and AC Milan. AC Milan have turned their attentions to Pulisic. Nelson's desire has been to remain with his boyhood club despite the lack of game time. Now it's down to him to show Mikel Arteta that he could potentially start ahead of Saka, Trossard, Martinelli, etc., as should everybody. Timber, as you know, is set for a medical at Arsenal, as we've agreed a 38.5 deal with Ajax. A bit like Declan Rice, we've agreed a deal, and apparently he's been given permission to also undergo a medical and put the final touches on personal terms. We're set to pay 34.2 million up front and a further 4.3 in add-ons for Timber. He is now set to undergo a medical at the club and finalize personal terms, which allegedly will not be an issue. He was a previous target for Manchester United. The versatile Dutchman will be joining us. We've already completed the signing of Havertz, and we're set to sign Declan Rice, people, as well. Xhaka could be completing a £21.5 million move to Leverkusen, and as you know, Balogun is attracting interest from several clubs across Europe, and apparently Arsenal are holding out for a fee of 50 million. Declan Rice impressed by Magic. Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta claims Danny Murphy allegedly speaking. Danny Murphy said, "I've got to say, it's worth saying I saw Dec on Sunday at a cafe by mine. He was outside. I popped out to see him. I was just ordering a full English, actually. We were chatting and he was buzzing. He couldn't wait to get to Arsenal. He said Arteta was magic when we met him." And that seems to be a theme of every player that stays at the club or brought into the club, that Mikel Arteta is magic. So whatever Arteta is telling them, it's working, and I praise him for that. But That's what the manager should be doing. That's just basic competencies, really. You should be convincing them that Arsenal is the one for them. So hopefully, official confirmation follows. We've Gabriel the centre back has previously played in France. He's been linked with Paris Saint-Germain, the second player to follow Martin Odegaard. They can be interested, but he signed a new deal. He appears confident and happy at Arsenal. Obviously, money talks. You present Arsenal or Arteta with an offer that's too good to turn down, things can happen. But I wouldn't want to see the Brazilian depart yet. There are issues that need to be sorted. Departures need to happen, and potential bids from other clubs for players in the plans also have to be dealt with. An example of this would be Gabriel, who has been the focus of admiring glances for Paris Saint-Germain. So we'll have to see how that develops. Kevin Campbell has spoken about our interest in Tchouaméni. Allegedly, I don't think we're getting him, really. You'd probably have to bid 100 million to get a conversation started for this individual. But nonetheless, he said, what would you say if the interest in Tchouaméni is real? I'm asking the question, what would you say if it's real? Potentially they're knocking on the door. Arsenal have made a statement signing the Rice already, but I want them to force it home with another marquee signing. I'm sure you do, but we've been linked with Kylian Mbappe, Frankie De Jong, Tchouaméni. I would love all of these players, but it probably takes 100 million on these players to get a conversation started. And we've just bought Declan Rice. I can't see it happening, especially because Tchouaméni has just walked in the door at Real Madrid. Apparently, a move to Celtic for Kieran Tierney hasn't been ruled out. I don't know if that's a loan or that's a permanent. I don't know if they have the 35 million pounds to tempt the Scotsman back home, and I don't know if they'll undertake his wages. But Tierney's future is still subject to speculation. That's for another video. Apparently, Arteta's spending might not be done yet, people. Obviously, with Kai Havertz, Timber, and Declan Rice, that's around 200 million. And then apparently, it's unlikely to stop there with Lavia still in their sights. It shows they mean business in going one better in next season's title race with City. But Arsenal also blowing the rest of the Premier League rivals out of the water, as they were the biggest spenders in the summer of 2021, with an outlay in excess of 160 million and over 130 million 12 months ago, people. So we'll have to see. Big up the Cronkies for that. Hopefully we can get over the line with Lavia. Arsenal remain interested in the Southampton midfielder, but are not alone in chasing him, although further deals are almost certainly likely to depend on outgoings. Partey, as you know, has interest from 2 Italian clubs. It's only listed Juventus there. Some reports have said AC Milan, and he's also drawn interest from clubs in Saudi Arabia. Tierney, Holding, and Lokonga could all potentially depart Arsenal Football Club. So not really been much light. We've been linked with João Felix. Allegedly, we could make a move for the Atletico Madrid star this summer. Us along with United and Chelsea. Chelsea ultimately ended up getting him. We're linked with him in January, people. I mean, he can play everywhere, but you'd kind of, away from being a quality player and the ability to play on either flank as a 10 and play up front, you can't really see how he ties into Arsenal Football Club, really. But why not? Allegedly, it could take 88 million, which I don't know if Arsenal will spend on such people. This article said he would like to join Arsenal this summer, according to reports out of Spain. He wants to remain in the Premier League, and he also wants to be in the Champions League. That's something we could obviously do, really and truly. Apparently, Manchester United and Newcastle United are also interested. You can't rule out Chelsea going back in for him. He earned 250 grand a week, so I can't really see us undertaking that as well. Again, it's not my money. I'm not saying it can't be done. Again, no disrespect to any of these in the knows, but you have to take these things with a pinch of salt. Frankie De Jong links are genuine. Arsenal do hold an interest in the player, and it's concrete. However, a tough deal to do. Lots of things need to fall into place for a deal to potentially materialize. One to watch. Contact has been made through agents. Frankie De Jong allegedly is keen. He's also said, don't get your hopes up yet. It's only the initial stages currently, and still lots would need to happen to make this deal materialize. However, Arsenal are 100% interested in Frankie De Jong. Also, Frankie De Jong is keen. He's always been an admirer of Arsenal. He's interested. I mean, you could ask Man United fans, that was them last summer with Frankie De Jong. So we'll have to see. The departure of Thomas Partey is a factor in any potential deal. As you know, he's got interest from Italy and Saudi Arabia, but nothing has been decided regarding his future, really. I actually don't want Partey to leave, so we have to see. Dean Jones has said, after these 3 deals, in brackets, Havertz, Rice, and Timber, insiders at the club, obviously Arsenal, expect a little break while they focus on exits that need to happen, but that will see them re-enter the market, and 2 more signings would be realistic from the noises coming out of the club right now. 2 more signings, I wonder who that could be. That could be another central midfielder and a wideman, or another central midfielder and an attack and a striker. Could be a striker and a winger. It could be another right back and something else, really. Partey, who Arsenal are open to selling this summer, is unlikely to be moved on unless a suitable transfer package arrives, and his future could now be directly related to further midfield incomings. There's been tentative interest from Saudi Arabia, but Partey is understood to be understood to favour the prospect of remaining in Europe. I mean, and early transfer doors, you heard we're bringing in 2 central midfielders regardless of what's going on. Don't forget to let me know your thoughts and smash the like button, people. So it's funny how the language has changed. Brooke Norton-Cuffy is being lined up for another championship loan. A number of clubs, including Coventry, are keen on acquiring his services. He may be handed the chance to impress in pre-season. Romano has said after Declan Rice, Arsenal complete also timber deal as expected, never in doubt. Direct call today to agree on a 40 million euros deal plus 5 million euros in easy add-ons. Timber will sign until June 2028, and he only wanted Arsenal. He's super excited about the project, which he should be if you're joining a new employer. Should we see if there's anything else? I don't think there's anything here. Brighton and Hove Albion are poised to ask for more than 100 million for Caicedo after a benchmark was set this summer with Declan Rice's move to Arsenal. You've seen Jude Bellingham go for mad money. You've obviously seen Declan going for mad money. Caicedo has got 40 odd appearances for Brighton. It is mad how we are in the transfer window, but that's that. You know, big up the young players. As you can see, Quesnada Fawn has signed his first pro contract at the club, and as has Ismail or Lad as well, people. So big up to them as well. Nice to see. Arsenal are still in a strong position to sign Southampton midfielder Lavia, despite Liverpool's push as the player wants to play under Arteta. Arsenal need to wait on Partey's future, but still want Lavia allegedly. Rice and Timber are both now expected to be officially unveiled as Arsenal players by the end of the week. With it being Thursday, we're here already, aren't we, people? So it'd be nice to see that one over the line. Again, as much as we've been linked with Frankie De Jong, so have Manchester City. If Manchester City go for you and Arsenal go for you, I don't think there's a contest, although some of you will say Declan Rice chose us, even though City didn't follow up their initial bid. Looking at goal.com, we're set to announce once again the 4-year extension of Reece Nelson and also Saliba's deal. Apparently, Declan Rice to Arsenal. Here we go. Deal in place between Arsenal and West Ham, and the Gunners signed their top target, 100 million plus 5 million add-ons. It's the most expensive signing ever for Arsenal and the most expensive English player ever. Arteta and Edu were crucial to make it happen, which they should be. Xhaka is moving closer to departing and joining Leverkusen. We're closing in on Rice and Timber once again. We've been linked with Kylian Mbappe, if you believe that. Obviously, Pablo Maria has gone to Monza. Arda Güler looks like he's going to Real Madrid, so it looks like Arsenal can close that file. So yeah, it's more or less the same. We're going over the same things. We all know Balogun has a price tag on his head. This article has said 35 million quid. We all know Partey's been linked with a move away. So we'll have to see in terms of incomings and outgoings. But let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, comment as well. Don't forget to hit the like button. Check out the rest of the other videos because again, we're working around the clock. Thank you for tuning in. Hope you lot are in good health and your loved ones as well. And I'll see you lot all again soon.
He always used to act when defending.
I think it's like